What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome. It's Sunday Night Live again. I think we got like one person here. We're going to bring up Ruth here in a minute. She is still in Florida and she's watching our grandkids. So she'll be on remote like I was, or like kind of like we did last week. It'll be like this for another week or so. Let's see. Who do we have here? Sir Rich. Hey, man. Thanks for coming on as always. So we'll give it a few minutes for people to get on here. Just so you guys know, this is part of our series. So you want to go full time now? What we're trying to educate and make sure people know and hear from other people in the world that do what we're doing, right? Living full time in their RV. That way you get different perspectives with people with families, single, whatever. You have a whole gamut that might help you make the right decision. There was a lot of things that I wish I knew and we knew when we first started, but we had to kind of figure it out the hard way. So, speaking of which, let's bring Miss Ruth up here. Hey, what are you doing? You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Now you go. Living out loud. How you guys doing? Welcome.
Hey,
Camping with the Calvins. How you guys doing? Happy
hey guys.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
So Ruth is down there in Florida. I'm up here in Georgia, still cold. She's not so cold down there. She's loving it. So
I sure am. I sure am.
She hasn't gone to the beach yet. So
no, I'm going tomorrow as soon as I drop the kids off. If you see me jet off, both my grandkids are special needs. They're both autistic, and so I have to keep an eye on them like 24/7. So I'm trying to like do this.
So she'll be on and off here and there.
Yes,
so
I will. As soon as you bring our guest. So we're just really excited. We're just really excited. We have some amazing guests today. We have some awesome guests coming up within the next couple of Sundays. We're gonna have someone from a dealership someone who we trust, where we've bought all three of our RVs, and he's just gonna give you the ins and outs of purchasing an RV and what you want to look out for and what what to not do and just all the information.
Yeah, he's he was our sales guy. I'm in sales and I know how some of these guys can be. This guy's honest, so it'll give you a perspective of, trying to find that right kind of sales guy that might help you out the best. And this is one of them.
We're also working on getting somebody who finds online remote jobs. We're trying to get her on. She has a pretty large audience, and she does the legwork, and we're trying to get her on. So
because it may be helpful to everybody. Yep.
Yes, if you're thinking, because these are all things that people do not think about, and you can go one or two ways when you go full time. You can be successful and enjoy the life like we do and continue, or you can not be successful and hate it. And we've even seen people end up homeless because they go all in without planning. And if there's one thing that I was never a planner at all. Like, I wish when we went full time, we would have just sold everything. But I was afraid. I didn't know if I was going to like it. I kept a pod and 2 storages. And here we are almost 2 years later. And now we're going to get rid of everything because I'm tired of paying it. So there's a lot of, if you do it correctly, this is an amazing lifestyle. This is, it gives you the freedom to travel. It gives you the freedom to live life on your own terms. And if you do it correctly and prepare, and what I mean by that is you have to make sure you have income, whether it's a large savings or still be able to work remote from wherever you're at. And there's so much to it. There's internet, there's buying the right rig, and we're trying to help you with this series, do all the legwork for you.
Yep.
So we're going to be
So
sharing
let's
a
go.
coming up.
All right. So we got Sorisa Snapshot Ventures. Like the new name.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for being on.
Staying in the RV. Welcome, guys.
Oh, I'm not complaining about the cold. I'm just saying somebody else was. This one over here. I'm good. It's nice and crispy.
Even though last week, guys, it was a little bit chilly here. I'm not gonna lie.
How chilly was it? Let's tell everybody.
It got like to 60s, man. That's chilly for me.
That's not 60. Yeah. Staying in the RV. Hey, welcome. Carolina Rollers. How you guys doing? It's nice to have met you guys, and glad you guys are here.
Yes, thank you.
Our favorite buddies, Bobby and Leslie.
Yes,
welcome.
yes. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
All right. So just a couple house cleaning things. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't yet. I found my old subscribe button, so I'm putting it there to make sure you guys remember it. So other than that, our camp over, we have a few spaces left, but they're pretty much closed out. So if you really are interested in coming, reach out to Ruth, and her email is ruth@rvlifeproductions.com, and she'll give you all the information you need, or reach out to her in our social media.
Yes.
The other thing is
we have a couple of spots reserved for some people that aren't sure if they're going to be able to come, and they've already talked to us, but there are I believe 2 spots left. 2 spots left. So if you want to come to the camp over, it is January 11th through the 14th in Lake Park, Georgia. That is at the Georgia-Florida border.
It's hanging out.
It's $180, and that includes everything. It includes one dinner on Saturday. It includes a s'mores bar. It includes 2 cocktail drinks for cocktail hour, and it includes what else does it include, Adrian? I think that's it. But, but it's also your camp. We are going to have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun stuff planned.
Yeah, there's going to be an agenda by mid-December. Is going to be out with everything, all the information. So let's see. Or Ruth will email you again.
Okay. Yes, I believe you guys they should have already emailed you your spot, guys.
If not, they will. They did it one batch. They're doing a second batch. No, so you guys are probably in the second batch.
I think they should have already gotten their spot, because she had. If not, message me. If you don't have your spot, message me, and I believe I have your spot.
Okay. Besides that, we are an affiliate for StreamYard. You can see Puddles there. I got to hang out with those people during Vid Summit. If you guys are interested in using the link in our description, you get 14 free days, so you can try it out. I'm the type of person I like to try something before you buy it, so you guys can do that.
Course, if you need any help with it, any basic help, Adrian can help you. If you have any questions after you sign up, we'll be more than happy to do that.
Other than that, we have our Vlogmas coming up again. 25 days of this, so this is going to be interesting.
And guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm already planning those 25 days out, so you guys know that it's going to be a lot of fun. We do giveaways. We do giveaways every single day of our Vlogmas.
Yep. All good here and down for Florida. Oh, nice. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this started. We're going to get our guest on.
I'm going to put their link here in the comments. Go check out their channel. This couple is amazing. They have a lot of amazing content we refer to a lot to their videos a lot because they have been they're the go-to. They're the go-to. If you have any questions about anything that to do to your RV or about anything RV, you go to their channel and I'm sure you will find it.
Yep, this is a channel there.
Of course,
and,
why wait?
and they have, I mean, everything and anything you could think of. Just tips and tricks. I mean, they
Yes.
live full time, and this is a great resource for anyone that wants to, has a question, wants to know something. Look up at the channel. They might already covered it. So
yes.
all right. So
and they're awesome. You'll love their videos.
We're not going to keep them waiting anymore. As long as they're ready to go, we're going to go ahead and bring them up. So let's welcome Why Wait. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey.
Doing good. Doing good.
It's funny the way we met because we live so close to each other and we went all the way to Tennessee to meet. Isn't that crazy?
Yep. It was funny.
Yeah.
But, we found a lot of people when we went to that Grand Design Tennessee rally and ended up meeting a lot of people that were right there in North Georgia that we didn't even know about.
Yep.
And literally, they're like our neighbors for real, like down the street.
Half an hour away.
Yep. So
Town over.
But yeah,
okay.
So welcome, guys, and we're doing the series to help people that might want to go full time. And how long have you guys been full time?
April will make 5 years.
Yep.
5 years. Okay.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
We've had this RV now for 5 years. We got in October. Yep.
Wow, that's
we're gonna be we're what, 2 years, right? In January.
I just can't even believe that I'm saying this out loud. We'll be 2 years in January.
Yeah.
It goes by quick.
It really does. So what type of RV do you have?
We have a Grand Design Solitude.
Mid bunk. Yep. Because we got a little guy who still lives with us, travels with us.
Nice.
Yeah, that's actually what we were looking at, right, Adrian?
Well, we were looking at reflection mid bunk, but yes.
Reflection mid bunk, yeah, because Adrian wanted to make it into an office. But why do you regret going full time? I mean,
I don't.
No, there are days. No.
Honestly, yes, there are days.
We all have our moments. Right?
If it was up to me, this would be probably the way I live for the rest of my life, just camping in an RV, traveling, but we move slower. We stay stationary for longer periods of time because it gets a little crazy when you're doing it, every 4 days, picking up and moving. That's just not for us. We found that, 3, 4, 5, 6 months at a time in a location, it's just better because you're getting a better price that way. You're getting to really see the area and feel the area a lot better that way. Yeah.
And it's exhausting to move so often. We've done it before where we've moved, and we're just exhausted at the end of a trip. So,
and that's another thing too, that when people say full time means a lot of different things.
A lot of different ways to do it.
Yeah. Full time can mean that you live full time in your RV, but you have a home base and you're stationary. Full time can mean you go like you guys for 2 and 3 months at a time to different locations, or full time can mean you're on the road full time. And honestly, we've done it before where we've been like 3 months, 4 months on the road, and I get tired of that.
So you never really fully get like set up in your RV either. You're kind of always in like travel mode, like moving mode. And from what I've seen on social media, it seems like most of the people who are doing that, where they're just like trucking every 2-3 days, picking up. I see a lot of those families maybe after a year or two kind of calling it quits or like slowing down, and they realize, hey, we need to slow down and like set somewhere, set up for like 8 months or something. And because I think
definitely.
And I think that's another thing I was going to say, that I think more people get burned out that way from being on the road, from not like you said, because to me, like making my RV homey was important to me. And when we get somewhere, I can't even set up, like you said, set up my stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest part of the whole thing. Living, and you guys know because you've been doing it for 5 years, but I feel like when we don't travel for a while, man, there's a lot of getting ready to go kind of to do before we go because
Yeah, people they
you
ask
know,
me like, I'll tell somebody I'm going somewhere for a weekend, and their first question is, "Oh, are you taking the camper? Are you taking the RV?" And I'm like, "Heck no!" I'm like, "Do you know how much crap I got to do to break this down? If I'm going somewhere for a weekend, I was like, it's a 2-day process to get this thing ready to move. Once you've been living in it and you've been set up somewhere for like 4 or 5 months, you're really set up outside and inside.
yep,
So to
same.
break all that down for a weekend, no, I'm not. I got to go somewhere for at least a week if I'm taking the RV.
So speaking of living in the RV and breaking things down, so if you guys are wondering about all this, I'm doing some modifications that I can't tell Ruth what it is, and when she comes home, she'll know what it is.
I'm
So there'll be a
almost
video.
afraid. I'm almost afraid. I see that caution tape, and I'm almost scared. Where's my dog? Is that why there's caution tape?
Well, I did that because you're nosy, and you'll this way it kind of blocks stuff, so you can't see anyway. So you got to wait.
You have something to look forward to when you
Let
get home.
Yep, exactly. All right, let's go through some of these comments real quick. 2 seconds. Hey, Campy with the Confers. How's Ohio? Thanks for coming on. Evelyn, how are you? Thank you for being here. Staying in the RV says we're coming up on our 2nd month of being full time.
Nice.
How do you like it? Let us know in the comments down below.
Yep.
Hey, those who glamp together, how you guys doing? Thanks for coming on. All right, so I think we're all pretty much caught up on that. So Chris, you still work full time like I do, and you have a
Yeah.
full time.
Mine's a little bit different from
Yeah.
most people who do this lifestyle. A lot of people, they're still working, but they're working from the road. I still have to travel back to my job, so that sounds kind of crazy, but I'm a sailor and I work on tugboats up in New York City. So every 2 weeks I have to fly back to the boat, and then I live, sleep, eat, on the boat for 24 hours, and I'm out there for 2 weeks, and then I just fly back to wherever we're camping, and I'm home for 2 weeks. So it's really not too bad. I only work half a year.
That's another reason that we take it slow too. So
Yeah.
When you got that kind of schedule and you got to make flights and things like that, you can't just be traveling and on a whim. I have to have schedule planned, airports lined up, places to stay for her to get her settled. So that's one of the reasons we can't travel that fast either.
Yep. No, that's cool. Like for me, I work, but I have a territory, so I travel within that territory. Luckily, it's big, so it kind of gives us a little bit of leeway. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to be able to do it that way.
It's how we came up with the saying, "Why wait?" We were going to wait and do this lifestyle once I retired, but then I realized I was always doing this job. I lived in South Carolina or Georgia, and I would always fly back to work anyway. So we said, what's the difference if I'm flying from our house in Charleston or flying from Idaho or Texas where we're camping? So we said, well, why wait? Let's go ahead and try this now.
That's awesome. That's obviously how you came up with your channel name.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. So that's great. Let's see. What are some of the challenges that you faced living full time?
Well,
okay. There's a lot of them probably. What are your most memorable? Let's put it that way.
challenges living full time, getting used to the small space and
staying organized. Small spaces can get messy quick, so learning how to downsize on your weight, what you really need, stay organized, again, watching your weight, storing everything. What do you really need? What do you not need? Figuring that one out in the beginning.
The last thing we want is to be overweight in the camper and, the problems that will bring with it.
Yeah. We've had some of those problems, not really from being overweight, but just problems that come from overweight, axles, leaf springs, all those issues, tires and things like that.
I know I check mine every time I stop just because there's something in my head about like, oh man. But
you should. That's right.
Yeah, a lot of people get into this lifestyle in the beginning. It's not really something they think about, or they think, they kind of just see the storage area and they fill it up and pack it in and they need all this stuff. And they're not really, understanding like how fast these things, build up and how much weight you have in them. And it doesn't take much. You throw a residential mattress and
we still purge and stuff like
constantly. Yeah. Constantly getting rid of stuff to bring things in.
We have I call them the holiday bins because Ruth likes to decorate. So since we have our storage unit, they rotate and they just same
That's
with
exactly what we do. We have our storage unit right now down the street. Before we go to Texas, we're like, okay, so we need to take the Christmas storage ones with us, and we'll drop off the fall Halloween stuff and put it back in storage. We won't need that, and you're rotating your decorations. Yeah.
Yep. So she's done. I gotta say she's gotten so good about us sizing down. Like if you would have seen the bins of shoes that she had, I mean, but
this one for her, it's
not shoes, it's not clothes.
It's crafting supplies. If there's an ounce of space in this RV, if there is a cabinet, an ottoman, an attic, except for the basement, which is mine, it is filled with crafting supplies.
Nice. All right.
Hobby. Something to do.
There's a question, Adrian.
Well, hold on. We'll get to it. Let's go through some of these. Adrian's revamping the entire camper. Yeah, probably by the time I'm done. I mean, hell, I'm gonna do a video just on the upgrades that we've done because it's a couple of them.
Yeah, we've had a couple of those videos. Yep.
Wes on the move. Sorry, we're late. It's okay. You're here.
Okay, you're right on time.
Griffin's tripping. How you guys doing, guys?
Guys, I just put Waiwei's link on. Go check his channel out. Go subscribe.
Yep.
They got some awesome
you guys are looking for any kind of videos on how to fix things and modify things and repair things and DIYs.
I'm sure you find it there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, swamp water. Yeah, that swamp water was pretty good.
They did a camp crawl at the Venture Bandits Bash, and that swamp water was no joke. That swamp water drink was no joke.
Columbus Mark, congratulations on your hitting 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations, hitting 1,000 subscribers.
Oh wow, nice. That's nice.
Yep, go check out his channel too. Let's see. I think we're pretty much caught up. The Real Weekend Warriors 2.0. Hello. Thanks for being on.
Home state.
Did you say we had a
question, Adrian?
Where's
from those who glam together? Go up.
Oh, right here. Okay. What do you call your home? Okay, what do you call your home state?
Well, people always ask us, they're like, where are you from? As kids, we both had military dads, so we grew up all over the place. And then once we met each other, we probably spent most of our adult life in the Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina area. Now that we're living the RV life, we have a home base in North Georgia.
We are,
but we're Texans because we're licensed plates and insurance, and we're registered in Texas. And that's where we spend the winter.
Residents. But we bought an RV lot, so we have a home base here in North Georgia because eventually this will actually be.
So I don't know
what we call home. So anytime somebody asks us like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" We're like,
we have
I
no
don't
idea
know.
What to say.
No idea.
Even. Yeah.
Well, where's your ID from?
Wherever your RV takes you.
Growing up military and moving every couple years or so. You don't really know how to answer that.
Yep. We love it. Our plan to stay at a site for a month at a time. That's good.
That's a good idea. You save money that way, and instead of just rushing through and seeing the one big attraction at each place, and then you move on. If you stay longer, you kind of get to meet the people, get a real feel for the area, find some of the hidden places to eat,
especially
trails,
if you are doing this full-time life, kind of in search of where you want to settle. If you spend some time, a little bit more time, and kind of find out the local spots, talk to the locals, and some are friendly about it, and some don't want you there.
Better feel for the area that way,
But you'll get a better feel, and that might make it easier to spend some time in it and treat it like it's your home, and and see if that really is a place you want to land eventually.
Well, it's weird, right? Because we go usually every summer whenever we do a 2-week trip, like we did one up north. We went all the way to Niagara Falls, all that. When we're here, it feels like I'm going home. But when we're on the road, it feels like I'm camping. It's just the weirdest thing because it's the same space, same everything, but it's just a different vibe, I guess. Maybe because I'm doing fires. I don't really do a fire here. Those kind of things, you know. So
Living here, but you're camping when you're on the road, sort of.
right. And then Ruth always has to have a waterfront, so that makes it a little different too.
So what would you do different knowing what you know now? If you were, let's say you were going full time, somebody that's watching that's saying that thinking about going full time next week, what would you do differently? Like, I know what I would do differently. Like, what would you do differently living full time 5 years now?
One of the things is because we didn't know we were going to go full time. You know, I don't know, until 6 months before we started doing it.
Okay.
I guess. Anyway,
Yeah.
But one of the things is if you know you're going to go full time, don't just I don't know, just like let everything go. Don't hold a storage unit. Ruth, you and I talked about this. I know.
And we did. It was easy for us.
It was we had a storage unit for years.
We already had it
and wasted so much money holding on to stuff that
yeah, it was only because it was kind of far away, though, not conveniently located.
I know, but if we had known we were going to do this, I think we would have taken care of that a whole lot sooner. So don't hold on to just stuff. I mean, sentimental stuff.
Yeah.
We have a small storage unit now, but
and, you know,
I'd say
you can always go back to a house too, like you said. Just sell it all from the beginning. Just dive right in. You can always go back to a house if you don't like it. But do your research, and we did a lot of research before we got in this lifestyle. You really want to, you know, kind of do all the research about the safety stuff and really look into that. I think a lot of people get a little uneducated when they start doing the lifestyle and kind of learn as they go. But you can avoid a lot of mistakes if you really do a lot of planning ahead of time and a lot of research ahead of time before you start, you know, finding all the things you should have did and get into all the trouble areas.
I agree with that. Before we did this, when we kind of had an idea we were doing it, we would do 2-week trips. Every other weekend we were out just trying to make sure we kind of like demoed it, right? Make sure we understood what was what and if we were going to really like it.
Yeah.
So,
we did that we just went to one campground and stayed for several months just to learn how to live in an RV.
Yeah.
I mean, neither one of us had RV, you know, camped before. It was tent camping.
Yeah.
Before, which is
live in North Georgia, our favorite area.
Hard to go back.
Yeah, I know. You know, I mean, look, my ultimate goal is to buy a piece of land and build a barndominium. And I don't want I just want a place to go to, because once I get to a certain age that I can't do this anymore, then I want a place that I can go to, right? So that's kind of the plan. If it takes me 5 years to do this, we'll buy the land and then build out little by little, even better. I won't have a mortgage. I'm happy with that. So that's kind of our plan. And
goals too. We know we want to. He's going to shut the door because our dog is about to freak out. So
no problem.
But yeah, that's what we want to do. You know, have our little piece of the pie, I guess, piece of land or something like that. Our oldest son wants to do the same thing. So I'm thinking, you know, you'll have a big enough piece of land to have family members that have their own space. But we don't have any timeline. A lot of people ask us, well, how long are you going to do this? I'm like, I don't know. You know, I know he could do it forever, but I do get sometimes kind of, I don't know if people are homesick, but get kind of like you just miss a little bit of space sometimes.
No. Hey, Charlie Grace, thanks for being on. Yeah, I mean, listen, we do the same thing. So that brings us to our next question. What do you miss? Do you have anything you miss about having a home, like a sticks and bricks? I mean, is there just what is it? I'm sure like I miss some things. Do you guys have anything you guys miss?
Yes, there is something I miss. Having a fenced-in yard for the dogs. I didn't realize how annoying the dogs were until now, because you used to just, you know, let them out in the fence. They go do their business. Now you walk them 5 times a day. Our dogs don't get along with other dogs, so I can't even take them outside of the RV if I see another dog. And they flip out. So we're like looking out the windows. Okay, it's safe to take them out. You know, we can't walk them around the campground because the one is
only one.
Yeah, he's a bonehead. So I never realized how nice it was just to open that yard. And you know, walking them in bad weather now and all that stuff. It's just like, ugh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is pretty bad.
Well, in a perfect world, we could put a little fence and let our dog out, but she's a runner and she has Doberman in her, so she would jump that no matter how high it was.
We have the little fence outside too, and because he's so crazy, we can't trust him out there by himself.
Not for very long.
Yeah. I have a question. Hold on. I have a question. Oh, so you have a little one, right? What do you do about? Do you homeschool him?
Yes. We have 2 grown children that are out and in the military, and I knew once they got through school, and then we had this little guy. I was like, I don't want to send him to public school. So we knew from the get-go we wanted to homeschool.
Whether we were on the road or not, we'd probably be homeschooling him. But
it didn't matter what, we didn't know anything about full-time RVing. When he was born, that was not even on our radar.
And it goes great. It's easy. I mean, it's really not bad. A few hours a day. Yeah.
But he's 9 now, and
Yep.
that's all he's known. So, and it's pretty low stress. There's some fantastic groups out there, homeschool groups and stuff like that. So you don't have to feel like you're doing it alone. You don't have anybody you can ask. There's plenty of people that'll help out.
Yep. No, that's awesome. I mean, listen, when I was a kid, I always thought people with RVs were rich, right? Because you didn't have one. I didn't even tent camp. So to grow up and like have that life, like that must be so awesome when you're a kid. But
we hope we hope that
he doesn't realize how good he has it because he's never done school. I had to wake up at 6 and wait for the bus and the teachers and deadlines and homeworks. And so, everyone, all the grownups are like, oh my gosh, you don't realize how good you got it. But, he seems to like it. So
that's cool.
If you guys have any questions for then let us know. Just put it in the comments. They'll be more than happy to answer.
Speaking of which, let's go through some of these real quick. So Charlie Gress says, I've got my landing place now. It's super awesome. Great. I'm coming to visit. Let's see. Who else do we have here? So Chris, the feeling about walking the dogs as well.
Yes.
Yep. Trust me, I'm the one that if it gets dark, she's not walking the dog. Because our neighbor sent us a picture of a bear behind our RV. So ever since that, she does not go outside in the dark.
But they're friendly bears.
It wouldn't be too bad if we had a good dog. He's just he's a loving dog.
No bears here. No bears here. I don't like bears.
No.
Especially he was just standing behind our RV like this. I was like, oh, heck to the no.
Yeah, we got them all around here. So
Glam fam, you guys are here. You could catch the replay later for the beginning. Let's see. Those who glam together, would you be willing to share about your content creator journey? Who edits? What difficulties you face? What is the best advice to give? There's a lot of content creators here. Yep, I agree. We were going to get to that, but we could jump to that now.
Okay. It wasn't something we ever planned on getting into, or I didn't even know there was a YouTube RV world out there. I stumbled across it when I was researching which brand camper to buy. That's when I realized there was even RV YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And we mainly kind of started a private channel to film our journeys for my parents and our family to watch us. We kept it private. And, nobody was really watching them.
I kept saying, or seeing questions, people asking the same questions
on
over
Facebook
and
stuff.
Again
I would help people on
on RV groups and stuff like that. And I said, why don't you just go through some of these common questions and just make a video for the common questions.
How do you fix this? How do you do this? And because we'd answer them, you're typing everything on Facebook. So we started making a few maintenance videos and things like that. And that's how the channel, we thought we had to we're like, oh, we can't do a YouTube channel unless we're on the road every day and we're going to national parks, and you have to have, we thought in the beginning that's what you had to have. Like, you're like, oh, no one's going to watch these unless we're going to these big parks and filming all these great adventures. But I'll say that you got to kind of find whatever your little niche is, whatever kind of seems to be, whatever you're good at, or whatever, whatever just fits your lifestyle and your family. Don't try to be like everybody else or everybody's channel. It won't work for you. We had to kind of do what worked for us, the way we live, the way we travel. And you just kind of have to try to run with that.
Yeah. And you can do it for fun. At first it was just, that was kind of just, let's just see what happens. No pressure, anything like that. And we still try to keep it that way.
But yeah, honestly, as it started growing, there became
snowball.
More pressure.
He would set goals like, I want to get to this stage by this time, and he kept blowing it out of the water with that. And so started enjoying it more, and just kind of
once you see it growing, it's kind of fun. And I really pushed it hard in the beginning, honestly. In the first year, once I started doing it, I was like, okay, I want to make this grow. And luckily I have a lot of time on my hands when I'm on the tugboat. I spent hours on other social media sites. I had to learn how to use Instagram, TikTok, and I didn't know anything about any of that stuff, but I wanted to cross promote it. So I learned how to use it all. I mean, my thumb would hurt. I'm not even joking about being on the phone for like 6 hours a day, liking everybody else's stuff, commenting on everybody else's things, just getting the name out there. Posting videos on Facebook wherever we could. I mean, I worked the heck out of it to where I was like, just like my hand would hurt after, and that first year I really pushed it hard. And then to be honest with you, you just have to have a video or two that just kind of goes viral to really get a big jump start. Well, it's maybe something that nobody has done yet, or just something that just clicks and hits. And once you kind of get that one video, that one or two video, then you kind of keep that momentum going.
Yeah. So part of the question is, who edits? That's my favorite part.
Yeah, I like editing more than I like filming. I hate filming. I'm usually in a bad mood. If you saw all my outtakes, there's gonna be a lot of beeping and bleeping stuff out, because you're trying to usually just get a project done, and now you have to film it. Now there's wind, the sun's not right, there's noise, someone's using a chainsaw.
There's a motorcycle going by.
Yeah, always when you live in the RV, it's so much harder to get a quiet spot to talk and film, and the lighting's not right, and just it's always something, and it proves to be very difficult to film, to where I dread it sometimes. I dread the filming. I like editing, but
I like filming if I have a plan. When you just kind of film and you're kind of all over the place, that gets me.
I have to outline it ahead of time. I have to write it down, get an outline, what I'm going to talk about, how, in order, it helps so much, because if I'm just going to wing it, it's frustrating.
Yeah. It's, I never really wanted to be in front of the camera anyway. So sometimes he's like, "Come on, you're gonna do."
Yeah, I'm like, do you want to be in the video? And come on,
I'll do it. Okay. It's fine. I'm doing it.
Well, but you guys know Ruth is a loud one, right? And she's the one that's always done the lives and this and that with her makeup. And for me, I was the guy behind the camera for years, for all the years doing weddings or commercials or whatever. And now getting in front of a camera was hard for me, because it's like I could talk to 50 people in a room for work, doing a training, but when it comes to sitting in front of a camera, like I kept screwing it up. It's like so annoying. So, but it took a little while, but that's awesome. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, and you guys are doing well. And there is a lot of creators that watch us in the RV world, so it's good that we all get a chance to hang out tonight and get to meet together one day. So
yeah, and I would just say just do what you want, because I know ahead of time when I make a video if it's going to be successful or not, and I know it's going to be a lower viewed one. But if I don't care, I don't care. I'm just like, hey, I want to do this video about maybe this campground review or about something else, and I know it may not fit what YouTube's algorithm has basically said is what my channel is going to be, and I know it won't do as good, but I don't care. If I want to make the video, I'm going to put it out there and post it anyways, and I'm not going to worry about it if it doesn't do well. If it's something information I want to get across or just a video I want to make, usually ahead of time, I'm like, okay, I know this doesn't fit with what my channel is, or, the algorithm that YouTube has kind of defined my channel as, but I'm still going to post it anyways.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. So I have another question here for you guys. What editing program do you like best?
I'll tell you what, you guys will laugh about my whole, I would say for 2 years, I filmed everything on my iPhone, and I even edited everything on the iPhone. I used my iPhone to make all my videos in the basic iMovie app. I finally upgraded and bought a laptop. I had to learn how to use that, and I'm still just using the iMovie app that comes on the Mac computer. So I film on my phone to this day. I edit half of it on my phone, then I transfer it over to the iMovie app on the computer, and now I finish it on the computer, and that's it. I dabble a little bit on Canva for some thumbnails and things like that. But yeah, I'm pretty simple. I don't have fancy cameras. I just learned how to use a computer.
Yeah, couldn't justify getting all the fancy equipment, not knowing if.
Yeah,
that just goes to show you that you don't have to have all that stuff to have a successful channel.
You don't. Yep. I didn't have the money for fancy cameras and computers, and I was like, okay, maybe as a channel make some money, we can slowly invest into some of that stuff. I have one GoPro camera that is like the original GoPro camera. That's a hand-me-down from my oldest son when I need to attach a camera to something. We are very basic with that stuff, but it does it. If you want to get out there and start doing stuff, it's more about, I think, about the content and the information that you're providing. You have to think, what is this for video? Why are people watching this video? What is someone going to take from it?
So many times when, if you're going to research something and you want to know how to do something, you just want to cut the bull, and just straight into just show me how to XYZ.
Yeah, sometimes I want to do more stuff on the channel, but I get a lot of comments. They're like, hey, we appreciate, I love the fact that you just get right to the point. I love the fact that, there's no BS. You're just getting right to the point, because if it is a video about fixing something, obviously somebody's there because something's broken and they just want to get straight to
do it. Yep.
And if I got a bunch of other stuff on there and this and that, I know they're just skipping it anyway. So I can appreciate both. It's kind of a fine balance of somewhat getting right to the point, but
like you want your videos to be interesting.
Yeah.
But you also want to get to the point of why the people are watching it, because
Yep,
you fix the problem, or your whatever it is you're offering them on your video.
Yeah.
Venture with Jeff and Tina, our friends. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for being on. And they hit 1,000 too, right, baby?
Congratulations. They just
congratulations, guys. Too. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're crawling along. Everyone's crawling along. So your sister. She's a loud one, all right. Hey, that's why she's got the t-shirt, right? All right. What about me? I use Final Cut Pro because I learned in iMovie, and then I learned in Final Cut Pro way back when I went to school for web design. And in Premiere, I just don't want to pay every month. So this way you just buy it as yours, and it's easy to use. So that's what I use. And listen, I got crazy cameras. Now I got crazy cameras, but it's because of my side gig.
I use iMovie. Yeah. I use iMovie.
She does it on her iPad.
I do it on my phone, I do it on my iPad, I do it on my laptop.
All right, another question for you guys. Where has been the best place you have traveled?
Idaho.
Wait, yeah, what's funny? Like Idaho was kind of a secret.
We weren't supposed to tell that one.
Yeah, everyone says, oh, don't tell people about Idaho, say Iowa, but Idaho surprised us. You don't hear much about it. Idaho was beautiful, and we spent the summer out there, and every time you're just driving, you turn a corner, it was...
I mean, I don't want to live there. It snows.
That's a problem. It's, probably snowing 8 months out of the year, but for those summer months, it was absolutely gorgeous, and the people were really nice, and we really enjoyed staying in Idaho.
It was beautiful.
Just very beautiful.
Scenery.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of pretty places, but I don't know, something about it kind of hit just right,
Yeah.
Let's see. I got a GoPro 10, but still use my phone for our recordings.
you want to visit
See?
but not move to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the snow either.
I'll go back anytime, but not.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like Connecticut. I grew up in
Mexico.
Connecticut, but I don't go there unless it's like nice out.
Where?
Connecticut.
Oh yeah.
That's
Well,
where I grew
working
up. So
in, the fact that I work up in New York and I work out in the water, and in the wintertime, I mean, I got ice in my beard, and the spray's coming over the deck, and
yeah,
I can't wait to leave that and fly somewhere warm and sunny. So
yep. All right. Let's see. Idaho is amazing. We back. It's all okay. Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Idaho
All
is
about the
definitely
banks. Hello.
Idaho is definitely on our list.
Yeah, we're
move
looking to do a western trip, and then,
We'll
but I want to go west, north, and then back, kind of like a loop.
Yep, that we did. We started in Texas that trip and went up. We did a loop.
Yeah,
We went
New
through
Mexico,
New Mexico,
Nevada,
We stayed in
Utah.
Nevada for a couple months because of one of our kids that's stationed out there, and so we
Okay.
stayed there. It was, yeah. I'm not a desert.
We're not the
girl.
biggest desert fans.
It's good to visit.
Want to come say hi?
You want to keep playing your game? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you can keep playing your
Since
game. Here's our little guy right now.
Hey.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Wants to know
What
if
game
you
are you playing?
some game time. What are you playing? Fortnite. Okay.
Oh,
course.
Fortnite.
Usually gets an hour a day of video game time. So, but to keep him quiet while we did this, we said he could have more time.
Nice.
And he's out.
And he's taking full advantage of that.
Yeah.
TNT RV. Hello. Thanks for coming
Hey.
on.
I'm gonna put the link again. Hold on.
Yeah, make sure you guys check these guys out. Like I said, he's got a lot of great stuff on their channel, and Ruth is putting the link in the description in the chat down below. It'll be in the description after if you're watching the replay. Go there, go subscribe, go check them out. Like I said, he's got a lot of good stuff that you might run into, especially if you're newer in the RV world. It's a great way to get some information.
Yeah,
So,
and again, for those content creators out there, anybody who's looking to start out, I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I am the most untech guy. Like I didn't know how to even check an email on a laptop. Okay, it was like so. I'm telling you, like you go back and watch some of our original videos, and we have some of our first ones. I left them all up there. You can see how bad the quality is of from those to what we learn now. It's just a learning process, and I'm still learning and still getting better at editing and filming, but. You can really do it. Like, we didn't want to spend money on editing programs, and the convenience of just carrying your phone around to film and all that stuff. You can totally do it with that. And, if you want to get more into it, I know, Adrian, that's kind of your thing. I mean, you're good. That's your background, and
yeah.
But
Yeah. And it was hard for me because I was trying to make every video a production, right? And you can't make it a production. You got to kind of keep it simple. And it took me a good almost a year to figure that out. And now I try to get the videos, just put it out, get the information out or whatever, and that's it.
people's
Not
attention
to make them
spans
too fancy.
are pretty short, and I've learned too to really cut the length of my videos down. I've even cut my intro down because I just realized people were just skipping through it. It's just like you just learn, like, sometimes it's just like sometimes short and sweet, to a point, but I hate leaving important information out.
Yeah, think about what you want to see when you are watching a video, trying to whatever that that you're looking for.
Yeah, sometimes I'll watch my video, and if I think it's boring or something, I'm like, oh, I need to cut that out. Like,
but sometimes the boring is what that is about, because there's certain things that are boring. Like when he did the towing, the numbers and stuff like that.
Learning your tow numbers. It's a long, boring video, but if you want to learn everything about every acronym of GAWRs and gross vehicle weight rating, how to find your truck numbers, how to find your camp numbers, how to do it. I mean,
it's very important to know it, but it's kind of boring.
But for the people who are coming there for that video, they're going to get everything they need.
Right.
And that's important to me because you can't have a.
Oh boy. So we're still waiting for Ruth to
Okay,
do
so
she got challenged to do a 48-hour living in a tent.
So
And
I will say this: I just ordered the tent as soon as I get it, but it's definitely not happening in the winter in Georgia, and it's definitely not happening in the summer in Florida. So it will be soon, within the next couple of months here in Florida.
Hey, I just got back from doing 2 days tent camping. Me and my boy and my family, and we loved it. We spent the weekend in the tent, and sometimes you're like. You're living this RV life, but you're not really like camping. And sometimes even I need to go back to just to kind of go back to the camping roots,
Well, I've never tented in a tent, so they are going to be laughing at me. That's why.
Get an air mattress. You're going to need an air mattress to sleep on.
Yep.
Well, anything I need to know about tenting in a camp, in a tent.
No,
all right, there you go.
You can get to the bathroom.
So you got new subscribers.
Sure that I pitch that tent right next to the bathroom, and somewhere where there's no bears.
Oh, we got alligators in Florida.
It's my mom. She was worried about the bears all the time.
Every time, well, when we camped before, there was like bears in the campground. I don't know why that was, but the last few times I tent camped with them, there was a bear. There's a bear somewhere in the campground.
Yeah.
I'm
all
done
right. So I'm going to go to a couple more of these questions.
Okay.
What advice would you give anyone thinking about going full time?
Do your research ahead of time. Know what you're going to get into. Really do your research about just everything. The model camper that you want to buy, what looks like it's going to fit best for your lifestyle. How do you want to move? What's the real cost of it? Again, safety.
There's a lot of good channels that actually do their monthly budget. I've noticed
that stuff's good.
Pay attention to those. Kind of, a lot of people post that.
I said,
there's so many variables.
Our channel is why wait and jump into the lifestyle, but at the same time, just
there was still research involved.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, following up with that. Did you guys going into a fifth wheel? Is that the best way? Was that the best way to do it for you guys versus a Class A, let's say? Or
I knew right from the bat. I think she wanted it a little bit smaller, and I said, we're going to be living in this thing with our child and dogs. I said, I am not going to get into something small and know right away that this was not enough room. So we went about as big as we could go right from the get-go because I knew that was going to be a thing. We never really thought about the Class A just because the floor plans really weren't set up good for a kid. Yeah. We wanted to make sure he had his own space. His own living space was important for us.
Yeah. I did not want to have his bed in the living room.
Make a bed every night.
Have to pack it away, every single day.
He needs his own room and toys. And so
kids need they need to be, have some, having raised two older ones, like they need their own, they need some time where they can close their door and where they, for us.
A Class A wasn't really ever a discussion. Yeah.
But we're looking at them like, maybe, not Class A.
Maybe it was just the two of us down the road, maybe like a Class C or something.
Yeah.
We've been eyeballing them.
Well, I tell you what, we did that van when we did to Puerto Rico, and it was awesome for that. But to live in it full time, I can't. I don't think I could do it.
I can't. No. People do it
all the time.
Yep.
All right. So let's say I never went tent camping. Don't want to.
Come on, it's fun. It's adventurous.
But yeah, if it's too hot, it's miserable. If it's too cold, it's pretty miserable. But it's still an adventure.
Get an independent inspection. Very good. Yep, for sure. We actually just met the guys.
If you're not comfortable doing it yourself, that's important. Yeah, I mean, I think I know enough now to where I know exactly what I'd want to go through and inspect everything. But if that's
well for newbies, like someone new that never really done it but weekends. So.
I will say that we do have, that's part of this series. I'm sorry about my grandkids. We do have an independent RV inspector coming, and he's going to be giving all the good tips and what you should do when buying an RV. So he's going to be coming. So make sure that you guys have your notifications on so that you know when we have them on.
Tina and Tina will never tent camp.
We got all these people living RV life, but all these people hating on the tent camping, huh?
Well,
Ruth would never tent camp. She just got challenged, so she has to now. All right, so here we go.
I have never been known to back down from a challenge. I will do it, but
you'll do fine.
But I swear, if I see a bear, that'll be the end of it. I'll be waking up the whole campground.
All right, so best upgrades you've done to your rig.
Man, we have a couple videos, quite a few videos of all the upgrades we've done, and I guess it's hard to decide upgrade, DIY, modification, but one of the biggest ones was the foundation, what I call the foundation. Yeah. We recently just did that. It's not everybody can do it. It's obviously expensive. It's something if you can get done right away, maybe if you order your camper, but we upgraded the axles, the leaf springs, the disc brakes. We went to a different equalizer system. Just taking care of all that underneath your camper is going to take care of the rest of the camper. The better suspension system you have, the better braking you have, the more cargo capacity, it's going to take care of everything else inside from shaking to death.
That is kind of like the foundation of your home if you're full-time. And it's pretty darn important. And it
keeps
was
everything safe.
I mean, it was
peace of mind
before we had that done. Every trip we would go on, something happened with the leaf springs, the axles, something. So it's for me.
Most of the campers come with the bare minimum underneath there for the weight because they're expecting people to use these things 3-4 times a year just camping. But for us, people living in them, it really is. They do really give you the bare minimum for weight on the axles and leaf springs and everything. So that was the biggest. That was probably one of the best modifications we did and upgrades. For sure.
Yeah.
That's something. Because we live in it full time too. Like that's like we talked about before. Like that's something I'm looking into, and it all depends. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna get a fifth wheel anytime soon because this is paid for, and right now I'm not gonna get much for it. So that's why I'm just. And by the way, if you guys
paid for,
if you guys have joined us and you're wondering why this is all here, is because I'm doing another renovation, and Ruth doesn't know what it is, and she'll find out when she gets home. So, just to clear that up. But yeah, I mean, that's a good one. That's important, I think, as well. And listen, a lot of times Ruth freaks out like when we're going through some weird areas, and she's like, "That's our home back there," and she's absolutely right. Like everything we own is pretty much there.
Going down the road, so the safer you can make it, definitely.
Yeah, that was because I am a very nervous traveling. It stresses me out. Before I feel better now. Since we've got the upgrade and stuff like that. So
okay, so we'll have to look into that. I enjoy tent camping, just not putting up and tearing down. I can see that. I challenge Ruth to be a part of the sisterhood of traveling margaritas.
Ruth. I accept.
There you go.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, that does. Anything. You had me at margaritas.
Carolina Rollers, another subscriber. There you go.
Thank you, everybody.
The independent suspension of disc brakes. Huge difference.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if I need disc brakes because my unit's not that big, like a fifth wheel.
No, I don't think everybody does either. I mean, even with us, to be honest with you, I mean, because we have the F450, which has bigger brakes than 1-ton trucks. I never really had a problem braking or feeling like I did. But just to have it on there now, when you do brake, I mean, you can feel the difference. And, you got these 18,000-pound rigs. I mean, just knowing that if you do need to stop, it's nice knowing that safety factors there. But I wouldn't recommend it for everybody to put that kind of money into unless you have the really heavy campers.
I think I want to just do suspension, new leaf springs, that kind of stuff. I think I'll be in a good spot.
Yep.
I would say, and speaking of leaf springs, sounds funny, but carry a spare.
Yep, we always carry spares. We used to carry 2 spares. We've used them too.
Yep.
Even if you don't do the work yourself and install the leaf spring when it breaks, you have that part yeah, when something happens and roadside assistance comes, you can get back on the road like that versus them not having a part, you getting stuck for a day or two, finding the exact leaf spring. That's saved us for sure. Carrying any kind of spare part like that, extra shackles, bushings, bearing seals. We carry all that stuff because
Earrings I have because when we were at that camp, I mean that harvest host that we were in Kentucky, the factory, it was brand new. The factory didn't pack the bearings well and they burned out.
Crazy.
Luckily, you know, the axles were good, but it took about 4 or 5 hours to get all that figured out. So
It
I
happens
get
all the
that.
time. I see stories all the time about straight from the factory, the bearings not packed properly, or even you take it somewhere to get the bearings done and they just pump it in there and they blow out the grease seals. If
Yep.
you can, doing your bearings on your own, it's not that difficult. And by opening that up, you get to see what's going on inside of there. And I talk about it all the time. You actually
Yep.
get to see what's going on. If the grease seals have blown, adjust your brakes. Is everything working in there? It's just really a real good idea.
No, for sure. And you know, like that's one of the things that I've was a learning experience for me because we had just been full timing for 7 months when that happened. So
Yeah.
all
The
right, I think
more you learn to take care of on your own.
Save some money.
Oh my gosh. And big things. Learn to take care of it on your own, but do the preventative maintenance. It's a pain in the butt while you're doing it, but it is.
Yeah,
It's a
it goes
lifesaver.
a long ways. I'm a big
Yeah.
preventive maintenance guy.
If
Yeah, I
anything,
don't
for
like
peace of
fixing
mind.
stuff.
Just for peace
Yep.
of mind. I said, if
Oh, yeah.
anything, do the preventive maintenance so that when you're going down the road, you don't have to freak out like me.
Yeah.
well, like I gotta do a bunch of recalking around my rig because I bought it in
Fun.
November 2021, so it's starting to get yellowed and whatever. So I got to rip it all out and redo it. But
I got a video for that.
We do.
But yeah,
let's see.
My
it
worst job. I
will.
hate doing that.
Yeah, and
so much.
sometimes if you don't do that preventative maintenance and you have a new rig,
It's good. You get to know your rig too.
Yeah, you get to know your rig, but you can if you ever have some kind of insurance claim and stuff like that and you didn't do the preventative maintenance, they can deny your claim because they see you weren't taking care of it instead of it just being an actual like
Yep.
yeah,
So
warranty.
we have a forever warranty that our dealer that are placed down in West Palm, and it covers if my fridge goes out, the AC unit, whatever, it covers it. The only catch is you have to do that inspection and preventative maintenance once a year.
Every
And
year. Every year.
I can't do it, but I still, when they're doing it, I'm there. And then I do other things on my own, but that one has to be done by like, you know, certified person or whatever. So it counts. But yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, like we were talking about before, me doing the auto leveling, I got to learn what's in the bottom of my RV. Like little
Yeah.
things like that is what makes it easier for you later.
You do. It's getting up close and personal with your rig when you do all that preventive maintenance. And the more you do that, more you learn things about it. The more you find what is wrong, what doesn't look right, what things should sound like, what things shouldn't sound like or look like. And that just goes a long ways. Yeah.
Well, guys, we're gonna kind of start wrapping this up. We appreciate you guys coming on here and giving everyone some feedback and answering your questions. And definitely, you know, thank you for your channel because you have a good resource of things that people can go there and check out. So again,
Go check out the channel. It's in. I just put it in the link again. Scroll above a little bit. It's all. If not, just type out why wait. It's super easy and super.
Or you can always reach out to us too and feel most people ask us questions about stuff and I try to answer everybody's questions when I can. So like we get a lot of the maintenance and technical questions. So feel free to reach out and I usually try to get back to everybody.
So Rolling with the Revs has seems like new RVs have a lot of issues. Think that the demand got high, the pandemic, and they rush build. Yes. Our last RV, and there's a video we did about that, brand new, and we used it for not even 4. We took it out 2 times in 4 months, and they had it for 8 months at the dealership. So like
sometimes buying one a few months used, 8, 9 months, 10 months, maybe even a year used, you get a lot of that kinks already worked out from the previous owners. Sometimes you're better off because all that little things that they're all going to be already taken care of and fixed.
Hopefully,
and
yeah.
Plus you're getting
Yep.
it a lot cheaper just getting that 1 year.
Buy used and get the inspection, and that
Yeah.
might be the best deal.
Yeah.
Yep. So everyone's agreeing how good of a live it was, and I agree. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
thanks,
have
Tom.
more of these.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yep. Yep. And you know, I mean, listen, guys, we want to do this just as a help because I wish there was these kind of videos when we were looking around and doing some research. So we could put it all in one place, one playlist that kind of covers different aspects of it, then it's going to be better for everyone. So
Hey,
make sure you hit that like button on the way out.
yes,
What do you got to say,
please.
Ruth?
Please hit the like button, guys, and don't forget to turn your notification on because we got a lot of more info. I'm doing like a deep dive. I'm doing on remote jobs. Like we said, we're gonna have an RV inspector. Actually, we just met them at the bash, and they're gonna come on because they told us a story that I could not believe of something they found on an RV that was getting ready to go on a big trip, major damage that could have been catastrophic. So this is why it's so important to do all this preventive maintenance and to have your RV inspected. You know, even like once a year, you can. There's nothing wrong with even having someone professional come in and inspect it, and it's not that much. It's for you to have peace of mind. To me, it's totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Yep, for sure.
So. Thank you for being here, guys. And don't forget to hit that like button. And don't forget to go subscribe to YWay. They have some great info. I'm going to put their link again here in the chat. Thank you for everybody who's here. We appreciate your support.
We're going to put you down below, and we'll be there in a minute.
And thank you for all our RV Lifers Nations who are always here supporting us, who come. Thank you. For always showing up for us and always being here. We appreciate
Hey, you want to see something funny? This is the funny part. I could do this and get rid of Ruth.
You're so funny.
All right, guys. Have a good night. And we will see you next Sunday. Until the next time.
Bring it here right now. Bring it here.